I'm Max Taylor and I'm the Intelligence Manager. So my region is the Central Asia region, and I'm predicting that Afghanistan will see its relationships with neighbouring states worsen throughout 2024. This is something that we've been looking at over a long time now, and the two real factors that we're looking at here are water security issues and the Taliban's push to build water security projects, as well as issues such as the Taliban's inability to control insurgent groups based in Afghanistan from impacting neighbouring states. This is one of those questions that's really hard to answer because it completely depends on how the neighbouring states respond to these issues. So I think it splits in two really. So you've got the insecurity question and the water security issue. So I'll start with the water security issue. This one basically centres around the Qosh Tepa canal project, which is a canal project currently being built by the Taliban in northern Afghanistan, which would divert water from the Amu Darya river. For Central Asian states, this is a massive issue, particularly Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, who already see drought as a regular occurrence in their own regions, which has been worsening in recent years, and water security is not a new issue for them. So this canal, which will divert water from a river they rely on for agriculture, will have knock-on effects in their own agricultural sectors, and at a time when food prices are already high and food insecurity is fairly poor in this region. As for the second part, which is border insecurity and militant groups based in Afghanistan are using Afghan soil to carry out attacks elsewhere, this is more of an issue on Afghanistan's border with Pakistan, as well as Iran to some extent. So along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border, we've seen Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan, or the TTP, otherwise known as the Pakistani Taliban, carrying out multiple and very frequent and highly violent attacks in Pakistan itself. And they've been frequently accused of using Afghanistan soil to harbour these attacks. So the Pakistani government has tried to put pressure on the Afghan Taliban to control this group and to prevent them from using Afghan soil. And whilst the Afghan Taliban have given lip service to the idea of controlling the TTP, in reality very little has been done. So what I see going forwards is that the Pakistani government will continue to try and provide pressure, and the Afghan Taliban will continue with their current stance, which is claiming that they're doing one thing but in reality doing very little. In response, the Pakistani government may find itself pushed into a situation where limited military activity is carried out on the Afghan side of the border, such as rocket strikes, drone strikes, or even ground operations aimed at dealing with Pakistani Taliban commanders based on Afghan soil. I think the most likely course of action is that all states will try and avoid any form of military confrontation. It's not really within their interest, and unless they're pushed into a position of extreme uncertainty, I guess you could call it, then they're not going to want to use military intervention, especially with the cost that would be anticipated for such an operation. So with that said, I suspect it'll be more of a diplomatic approach, and the impact as a result will be somewhat muted. And it won't be an instant one-hit sort of event. I imagine there'll be a series of small events which contribute, and over time, perhaps not even in 2024, perhaps even longer term than that, we'll see the impact slowly build up with each event, with each disagreement, with each dispute, or even with each incident on the border itself. We may see these all building up to make one event that we probably won't see happening at the time, but it'll be very obvious in hindsight. So if people want to learn more about future threat predictions, they can sign up for our free panel discussion with leading industry experts, coming in early 2024.